Hey guys, welcome to part 4 of my reference playlist. Today's item doesn't really have much in the way of a workable pattern, as things will vary really wildly depending on your chosen dimensions and measurements. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to be using 3 shades of pink. I guess I have been using a lot of pink in my projects lately. Or maybe I think I do. Anyway, anyone would think it's my favourite colour or something. Well, maybe it is, sort of. I think I like the idea of pink, but black is well and truly where my loyalties firmly lie. Ooh, that's just given me an idea for a project. I should probably write that down before I forget. But anyway, moving on. These pinks are really testing out my new camera, but the colour seems to be showing semi-true, I guess, so let's hope I don't have to do that much colour correcting when editing. Fingers crossed. I will be linking all the necessary information about the materials in the description box below. Before we begin, we need to determine how big we want this scarf or wrap to be. Because I'm making this for a future Amigurumi project, I will need specific measurements. So I made this bust of my Amigurumi's head a while ago, and it's good for checking sizes since I did originally make it to test fit my hats. So I guess I can repurpose it to test fit the scarves and the shawls, etc. Since the head is the biggest part of the amigurumi, I just measured the circumference of that, which was roughly 9.5 inches, which I then rounded up to 10 inches because it's just easier to work with the even numbers. You can add a couple more inches for a looser fit, but I wanted a close fit, and bearing in mind that in the project that I'm working with, I'm going to need to leave some room for a wig cap and obviously the hair. The extra ½ inch I think would be enough, and it would be actually plenty in this case. This design also scales very easily, so an adult version can be made using the same methods. You just have to increase your measurements. So I will start the foundation row with the medium tone pink as it will show up best on camera. Admittedly, the first row of this is the most difficult and fiddly, but if you bear with it, the rest of the project really is a breeze and it will just fly by. So while keeping the chains fairly loose, I am just going to chain as many chains as it takes to get to the desired length, which was 10 inches. Once I have the chain at the right length, I will be joining it to the start of the chain with a slip stitch, making sure not to twist the chain. For round 1, start by double crocheting under both loops back down the chain. When you crochet in both loops, you should have 2 loops on top of your crochet hook and 1 back bump under the hook. You can just see this on my crochet hook that I'm showing you right now. This is definitely the part that's going to be annoying. It will take a while and will test your patience, but just bear with it and be persistent. Just keep going. These first 2 rows are the worst, but once you're done with them, the rest is so easy that this project will just fly by. Carry on double crocheting until you reach the end of the round. I'm going to finish this section off camera and meet you back here before the join. Now I just have a few more double crochets to do before I get to the end of my round. With that done, do not join to the top of the first double crochet. If you do that, you'll just end up with a tube. We don't want that, since we need to instead create a twist for the Mobius loop effect. So instead, while holding the first double crochet, twist it downwards towards you, as you can see me doing here. We are then going to carry on the round in the back bumps of the foundation row. So the reason we needed to distinguish the front loops and the back bumps was because we were going to use both of them. So anyway, keep crocheting in the back bumps and I'll meet you back at the end of the round. So when you get to the end here, you can then join with a slip stitch to the top of the double crochet. And so we actually did one round instead of two. I love this project because it just works up so quickly, especially at this scale. If you are using the same color, then just keep going, but I'm going to do a color change here. With my darkest pink, I'll be pulling this new color through as my slip stitch. I'll then chain one and double crochet into the same stitch. From here on, just double crochet around and keep repeating this, making color changes if you wish at the end of each round. I ended up doing 6 rounds as it was a perfect fit, and I could have actually stopped at 5 rounds, but there was a slight gap at the back of the head that I just wanted to cover it up, so I did one more round just for the aesthetics. So once you've reached the number of rounds that you require or the desired length, it is perfectly fine to stop there and be done. But you can also add a decorative border if you wish, and in this case I decided to just slip stitch all the way around just to make it look neater. This step is completely optional, so you can actually skip it, it's not necessary. Once I was done with the slip stitches, I then simply cut the thread, and with a tapestry needle I proceeded to secure the ends by tying a knot and weaving it through the work, making sure to switch directions. I'm also going to be making some additional tassels. I mean, teeny tiny tassels, who can resist, for this project. And to do that, I just cut out 3-inch lengths of all my colours, lining them all up a few strands in each tassel. I then tied them up in the middle. I then used one of the longer strands to tie off the top of the tassel to create that tasseled look. I'm not explaining this properly, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Basically, it might not be the way an actual tassel is made, but at this scale, it's functional and it works. I use the tapestry needle again to just get that end of the yarn and push it back up through the end of the tassel so that I'd be able to attach it to the shawl at the end. Lastly, I did a quick trim to make sure they were teeny tiny, so I got the teeny tiny tassels. I made a few of these and then attached them to my little scarf. As I mentioned earlier, this shawl or scarf or wrap, whatever you want to call it, scales really well. If you want to make an adult sized version to go around your shoulders, obviously get that measurement around your shoulders and then add inches depending on whether you want a loose fit or a tighter fit. Just bear in mind that at the beginning you can't really see the twist. The twist really comes into effect the more and more rounds that you do. With the tassels complete, all that's left to do is to weave them into the shawl and the project is done. I know I've probably given away what the next amigurumi project is going to be, as I'm sure the keen-eyed among you have already figured it out from the colour scheme. If you know, you know, right? Anyway, thanks for watching and drop your guesses in the comments below. I'm curious to see how many will actually get it right. Oh, and while you're there, please like, share, comment, and even consider subscribing if you like the content I create. Don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video, and see you in the next one. Bye!